So hello everyone and welcome back to the greenhouse. This is probably, I think it's about the third video that I've done from the greenhouse recently, because I'm getting my seed planting on. I know for some people it might seem quite late, but I've been a bit more careful this year. Last year I got stuff planted really early in here and it was all ready to go out way too early when there was still frost outside. So we got to the point where stuff didn't do so well because I'd got started too early. So my thinking now is we've got about a month or two, well probably about a month until I want to start planting stuff outside, which means I've got a good opportunity to get stuff going in here without A, using up all the space, and B, without everything getting too tall and leggy. So today I'm going to be planting tomatoes, not just for me, certainly my grandparents and my parents last year got their tomatoes from me because I'd planted a load of them and they couldn't get to the garden centres, so they've, I think, realised that it's a lot cheaper to get them from me. So let's have a look at what we're going to get planting today. So here's my problem when I come to planting tomatoes. I'm sure, like many of you, I get magazines and things like that, or when I see reduced seeds, I can't help myself. So I end up with this situation here, where I end up with so many different varieties of tomato that it would be silly to try and plant every variety. So what I'll do this year is I will plant some different varieties, so particularly like a cherry type and salad types, but I'll also pick a few interesting ones, so like the Gigantamo, or this little pack of seeds here that I've got, which is the Brad's Atomic Grape. Nonetheless, it's always a difficult choice picking which ones to grow. So I'm going to have a little think and then I'll let you know which ones I'm going for. After much umming and ahhing and debating with myself, I think I've come to a selection of 8 different seeds that I want to grow. Reason I picked 8 is the trays have got 8 rows in them. I've got 2 trays. I'm going to do 2 identical trays. I'm going to do one in the greenhouse grow room and one just out on the side in the greenhouse, and see which one does better. The ones that I've chosen, I've got these ones which I saw on Tony C. Smith's channel last year. That's the Brad's Atomic Grape. They looked different and really quite cool, so I thought I'd give them a go, just something different. Next one we've got is the Gigantamo. These are huge. Supposedly they grow to between 500 grams and 1.5 kilos, so that's mega tomato. I think these are more kind of just as a wow, that's a big tomato, rather than being really, really nice, but we'll have to wait and see. Next we've got the Ailsa Craig, which is a really, really common one. It's one of those kind of staple garden ones that everyone grows. It's supposed to be quite heavy cropping, which is always ideal. We've got these, which are Ildi F1 tomatoes. They're a yellow pear-shaped tomato. I did have a different type of tomato that looked pretty much identical, which is why I went for these ones. But I thought they'd be quite interesting. Got the Black Russian, which again I've seen other people grow and they looked quite nice. But for me, again, just something else different to grow other than a normal tomato. These are the Costoluto Fiorentino. I grew these last year and they worked really well, and they seem to be really strong plants, and had a decent flavour to them with big tomatoes, which is why I've gone for this one again. Next one we've got is Tigrella. They look cool, they taste nice, so yeah, I thought why not. And then the last one we've got is Tomato Cherry Falls. Last year I tried to grow Tumbling Toms, which didn't really work out. I tried a few different packs of seed, and none of them really took off, so I ended up buying a couple of plants from the garden centre a bit later on into the year, and again they didn't really work. So I've gone for this Cherry Falls one, which sounds like it should be the same, but we'll have to wait and see. And these are ones that my grandmother really likes, which is one of the reasons that I'm growing them, given the fact that I know I'll be giving some to her and to my parents as well. So let's get planting. So as with all my seed planting, I'll be using this same system that I always do. So I've got my trays labelled up with tray 1 and tray 2. As we come around to the side, you can see each row is labelled up as well. And then what will happen is that it gets put into my little book with the tray number, the date the tray was planted, and then what's in each row. So let's get started. So first ones we're going to go for are going to be the Brad's Atomic Grape. And planting tomatoes is so easy. All I'm going to do with these, they're quite fiddly because they're quite small seeds. Just put a few in my hand, and all I'm going to do is drop 2 into each module, just to make sure that ideally each module gets at least 1 plant that grows. If it gets 2, we can split them up or thin them out. And I'm just going to carry on going along all of the rows, documenting what I've put in each row, and then I'll get them covered up. Right, so there we go, that is all the seeds in. You can probably see that with different seeds, I've got different amounts in each module. All that is if there's a pack of 20 seeds, I'll put 2 in each for the 10 modules. If there's, say, 25 seeds in a pack, I'll add a few more. And things like the Ulster Craig, they come in a pack of 50. So rather than, you know, save half the seeds and put them to the side, it's something I've got loads of. I'll put a few extra in and just thin them out at a later date. So now what's left to do, we've got all the seeds in, is just to cover them over. And what I've got here is just a mix of compost and vermiculite. So let's give it a nice little covering, spread it all over. Just be really careful not to move your seeds out after you spent all that time putting them in the specific modules. And once that's done, all I'm going to do, as suggested by one of my subscribers, is I'm just going to get another module tray, line it up over the top, and use that just to tamp down the top of the modules. And just make sure that the seed is in contact as best as it can be, both top and bottom. And we can just smooth off any other little bits that we've got. And there we go. So there we go, that is all my, well, certainly most of my tomato seeds planted. I might well find that I plant some more a bit later on as well. One of those is going to go in the greenhouse grow room, and one is just going to go in a tray in the greenhouse, just to see what the difference is between them. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate lots of people are putting up seed videos at the moment, and this is not my first in the last few videos, so thank you for sticking with it. I hope it's been helpful to someone just to see how I do mine. If you've got any hints, tips, stick them in the comments. I'll have a read. You might help me, you might help someone else, so thank you in advance for those, and that's it from me. So thanks for watching, take care, happy allotmenting.